welcome back to Thermomix. My name is Chef Martin Yeo, and it's really a pleasure for you to join us today. We'll be doing a couple more recipes to show you the power of the Thermomixes. I've been a chef instructor, I've been a chef for the last 20 years, and Thermomix has been always part of my kitchen since, 1994. Okay, so don't worry if you can't cook, don't worry if you've not been in the kitchen ever. You'll see the power of Thermomix, how a simple piece of appliance like this can actually do a lot of work for you, how to simply make very wonderful dishes. Today we will be making a beef stew, and to pair with the beef stew we have our wonderful sourdough bread. So we're going to talk about the beef stew right now, but before we do, we're going to introduce you to our wonderful ingredients, alright? And if you do like the video at the end of it, please like and share. Okay, so let's go. We have the stewing beef. Alright, for those of you who say I don't take beef, you can always use pork ribs. Alright, any form of meat for stewing, like chicken. Alright, you can use the whole chicken up into 10 or 12 pieces. Also for our Muslim friends, I have red wine here. So if you say I cannot have alcohol, which is very obvious, use a stock, beef stock, a chicken stock, grape juice, right? Anything that suits your religion. Okay, so we have of course the stewing beef, we have pepper and salt, we have star anise, we have a little bit of mixed herbs, dried, we have celery, garlic, red onion, I'm using cherry tomatoes, a little oil for frying, carrots, diced tomatoes from the can, and a secret ingredient. When you make a stew, try to keep a bit of the sauce for the next round when you make the stew again. So instead of using water or stock, you could use the previous sauce from your previous stew, which already contains so much flavor. Right, from all that cooking. You just need probably about a cup to 2 cups. Alright, you can freeze it in a bag or in the ice cube tray, and then the next time you make the same stew, alright, you can just take it out and put some in for that wonderful depth of flavor. Okay, so let's begin. Today we'll also be showcasing the blade cover. Alright, this wonderful thing that allows you to do the stew without the meat or all the ingredients touching the blades. Okay? And to pair up with our wonderful beef stew, we're going to create a same day sourdough loaf comprising of bread flour, water, salt, a little bit of sugar, and the engine that keeps all sourdough running. Let's see, this is the sourdough starter. Alright, imagine this, a very old school way of making bread, right, through a long fermentation. To make sourdough, minimum 6 to 8 hours, alright, and then you can do of course a overnight 48-hour fermentation to get you that wonderful, slightly acidic flavor of a sourdough loaf. So, if you've watched the video at the end of it and you really like it, do help us like and of course share it with all your friends. Okay, so let's begin with the wonderful beef stew, because it's going to take anywhere from 2 to about 4 or 5 hours. Alright, I'm not putting a time frame on it because the size of the pieces matter, the type of meat you use matters. Okay, how small, how large. Okay, so let's try and start with our cooking. We're going to put in first the onions, the carrots. The wonderful thing about the Thermomix is whatever size you start off with your vegetables, right? It does all the work for you. Just a 3-second, and then all right, that's done. Okay, that's easy, huh? Normally you would have to stand at the cutting board and chop. Okay, wow, let's scrape this down. All cut up and easy. Let's have a look. Okay, to all our viewers, I hope you can see this. Okay, great. Ooh, Now let's put in some oil. And what we're going to do, we're going to saute this and get some flavor out for you. Once again, the cat pepper. Okay. Let's do a short 3 minutes on Varoma. Okay. Varoma, reverse, and spoon. Then we're going to lift this up. Okay, very casually, just to saute like you would in a pan. Okay, you cut up all, as I think they call it brunoise, like little cubes. You cut it all up, you put it in a pan, saute until it's slightly translucent to get all the juices, the natural juices from the onion, the celery out. Then you get all that fragrant smells coming through. Now all this flavor that builds up inside is going to go into your beef stew. Imagine that. So you've got that sweet flavor of the carrots, right? The slight pungency of the onions, okay? And then that sharp taste of the celery, right? And you can hear it. You see the smoke coming out for those of you, right? Oh, what's happening? Okay, just fabulous, huh? Nice and easy. So normally you'd have an entire messed up kitchen just to do this, right? I just cut up very casually the onions, the celery and the carrots. We stuck it in and we let the machine chop the rest up. Later on we'll add in the garlic and then we'll put in the tomatoes and of course our meat, the sauces, and a bit of diced tomato from the can. And then we season it as we go. Like I said before, this is a classic leftover sauce which we reduced from the previous time I made the beef stew. I froze it and then I thaw it out. Okay, imagine the flavor that was in here from the previous time when we reduced and thickened. Right? So instead of using water and beef stock to give you some flavor, why not use the rest of the older sauces? Okay, not here, and just put it in later. So we're down to about 50 seconds to go. Let's have a look. We'll give it a bit of a stir. Okay. Wow, you can smell this and see the steam coming out from all that Varoma cooking. Okay. In chef language, I think we call it to sweat. Alright, the root vegetables. Huh? Really sweating, no color, easy as it goes. Wow. Okay. Now don't forget, if you have any questions, do drop us a comment, okay? And if you really like the video, once again, please share with your friends, like and share, alright? And help us promote, of course, the Thermomix. Alright, I've been using the Thermomix since 1994. Ran a couple of kitchens, managed a couple of kitchens. It doesn't let you down, it doesn't need to go on leave, it doesn't need to go on sick leave. It's there for you 24/7, right? And this is our TM6, the Thermomix 6. Alright, smart and hard with all our regular updates. Now, as you can see, this is already done in 3 minutes. Okay, put that in there, give it a scrape down. Now we will add our garlic. Okay, we'll add our tomatoes. Right, give it a bit of roll. Okay, another 3 seconds. On speed 5. Okay, let's see how this looks like. Alright, it's all chopped up. Okay, now what we're going to do here, okay, just to show you how this is all done, we're going to remove all the chopped up. Oh, look at this, beautiful colors, huh? Beautiful colors, your kitchen stays clean. So, these are all chopped up root vegetables which we will put back. Alright, we're going to of course today showcase the slow cooking function and the blade cover, which allows you to sous vide or stew. Alright, so there we go, that's in. I put back the chopped vegetables. Alright, we put in the beef. Alright, there we go. Put in our tomatoes, diced tomatoes. Oh my goodness, look at this smell here. Okay, and then we'll add in our sauce, our stock from a previous cooking. It's got all the tomatoes, the flavor. We'll even put in some potatoes. We're using no flour today to thicken. We're using potatoes to thicken this wonderful sauce, this beef stew. Okay, we'll put it on. We'll put in our next herbs, our star anise, and our salt and pepper. Okay, we'll season gradually as we go along. Alright, now we're going to select slow cook. Right, it comes up with 8 hours. We're going to leave it at, I'm going to choose 98 degrees. I'm going to need a bit more temperature for the cooking. I will turn it down to 95 gradually. Let's try 2 hours first, okay? And then we can gradually add half an hour or 1 hour. And that's all we do. And this is slow cooking. No stirring needed. You don't have to stand here. You don't have to do anything else. Just load all the ingredients in. Sauces, water, spices, seasoning. And then off we go. Okay? And that's it. So we come back at about 2 hours and see what's happening. So while the beef stew is cooking, okay, by itself in the TM6 or the Thermomix 6, we're going to start to do our sourdough loaf here. Okay? Today we're doing a same-day bake sourdough loaf. Alright, we're using about 100 grams of starter. Now, some of you might say that's a lot of starter for a loaf. Alright, but we're doing a same-day bake. Alright, in normal bread making, you have the commercial yeast or instant yeast, as they call it. Here we're using a very ripe and ready sourdough starter. So this is like the engine that pushes the dough. So of course, if you want a same-day bake, the more starter you put in, the faster the dough will ferment. I know some of you purists will say, but then there's no flavor. Okay, so here we're giving you the option. If you want a 24-hour, 48-hour fermentation, nice acidic, more sour loaf, use of course less, anywhere from 20-30 grams up to about 50 to give you that nice flavor, because the longer it ferments, the more acidic the loaf will get. Okay, so we give you both options. If you want a same-day bake, not a quick sourdough, but a same-day bake, minimum, I normally put it at about 6 to 7 hours, alright, for a same-day bake. Okay, so let's begin. Let's put in first the water. Let's call up our scale. Okay, that's tar. There we are. We need about 100. Oops. Okay. 110's okay. And then we put in all of starter. Okay. There we go. Good. Then we'll add in our flour. Okay. Now, most of you would say, okay, it's a TM6 or a Thermomix, let's engage the kneading function or the dough function. We're going to do a pre-step, what I like to do without throwing the dough all over the place. I do a reverse, okay, and then a 2.5 for 30 seconds, just to mix it all up. Now, sometimes you might need to add a little more water, because depending on the age of your flour, alright, similar to rice, the older the rice, the older the flour, the more water it requires. So I've always got a little bit more water in case it's a bit dry. Okay? Just 30 seconds so we don't make a mess in the TM bowl. Okay? Here we are. Just to show you, have a look at this. Wow! How amazing is that? No mess, no flour anywhere. Now we begin the kneading. Okay? We'll call up the dough function. Okay? We'll do a 2 minutes. Alright? And off we go. Now some purists say, oh, I want to do it by hand. I don't need a machine to help me knead the dough because I want to do that stretch and fold or an autolyse or a fermentation. If you want to do a fermentation, if you want to make a brand new starter or feed your starter, the TM6 also has a fermentation function. So you can ferment your starter, do your autolyse, alright, which is just wetting the flour and the water, alright, with the starter all in, one jug, alright. And then after that, carry on with the recipe. You can even proof or bump right in here so you don't have to dirty anything else. That's the power of the TM. Okay? Wow, look at this. Wonderful, wonderful dough kneading function from the Thermomix. You just need to do all that work. So we're giving you plenty of options. Always how to make all your cooking, baking, desserts, juicing, whatever you need. Alright, the TM6 is now doing its kneading on the dough function. Right. There are 22 functions, alright, that it can do for you in the kitchen. Right. With about 12 appliances. How wonderful is that? This one machine takes care of 12 appliances with at least 22 functions. Amazing. Kneading is done for 2 minutes. Okay, let's see. Ooh, what are we looking at? Ah, nice dough with a bit of gluten. Okay, then we'll put in our salt. Alright, and a little sugar. I always like to put in a little sugar. And we go for another minute. Okay. 1 more minute. Right there. That's all you do. Okay, for all the newbies sitting around thinking, should I get one Thermomix for my home? Look how easy it is. Look how clean the kitchen is. Okay, this could be you at home. Whether it's in a tiny little flat kitchen, condo kitchen, or in a lovely big house, landed property kitchen. One appliance, all you need. Right? Simple and easy. Right? And then after that, we'll put it in a bowl, and then we'll ferment, and you can carry on your stretch and folds. Of course, if you're using less starter for your long fermentation, one bowl is dirty, or a Tupperware or a box. Even if you want to ferment it right here in the TM bowl, be my guest. Okay? We call it smart and hot, constant updating. Okay? It's got the Wi-Fi, it's got of course the cookie dough functions with 50,000 odd recipes from all around the world. So have a think about it. It's something to seriously consider, right? Especially for those of you moving into a new home. Right? Great! Cook for my family and make bread for my family. Wow, how wonderful is that? Okay, let's remove the dough. Simple as that. Let's see. Oh, don't need too much wood. I can just pull it out. There we are. Okay. And we are done. Almost. Wow, wonderful. Okay? Yeah. So we'll do a rounding and then we let the fermentation begin. There we are. One dough, sourdough. Alright, we already have a pre-proof version for the dough ready. Let's check it out. Okay, great. So we're gonna plop it here onto our Thermomix mat. Now, for those of you who never knew that this mat can actually be used for baking, now we will show it to you. Okay, so we're gonna score Alright? Put it here. Okay. Let's put a few more. Right. Okay. And off we go to the oven. Alright? So, welcome back. Here we have a baked version of a sourdough loaf. As you can hear, it's still very hollow, which means all the water has evaporated from the baking. And now we're going to show you the cross section. And this should be done by you very easily in the TM6 or Thermomix 6, right here. Okay, pure sourdough, whether it's 6 to 8 hours, same day bake, or 24 to 48 hours fermented recipe. It's up to you. Alright? So, you see, with the TM6, Thermomix 6, everything is possible. Okay, that's done after 2 hours. Oh wow, let's have a look. Now, we've checked it previously, let's stop this. We've checked it previously about when we have a minute left, and we're going to let it go 2 more hours to cook because it's not really like super soft. So that's the advantage of the Thermomix. You see, for 2 hours I could make finish up the bread, alright? And then if you find that depending on the quality of the meat, right? If you say I want to cook another hour, another 4 hours, another 6 hours, all you got to do is go back, reset everything, release, and then it carries on cooking. Okay, so let's put this on. Okay, we're not going to put the measuring cup back on. Let's pick our time, another 2 more hours. Okay, 95 degrees, and then slow cooking. That's how easy it is. And then we're off to do our chores again, or pick the kids, or go for a coffee. You see, TM6 Smart at Heart makes it that more special. Now the last stage, and actually the best stage, and in the interest of time, we have already one that's ready for you. Cooked 4 hours, alright? Wonderfully garnished, stew, and of course the fabulous sourdough recipe. And if you like this video very much, do give us a very good like and share it with all your friends. And more information about the Thermomix, do get down with your advisors, the one who's invited you to watch this video, and they'll be more than happy to fill you in on all the information. Or you can also check out our Facebook page. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again in the near future. Bye!